Here's a surprisingly heartening summer story about the way the film industry works. If you're a weekly film critic, the way your week pans out is that Monday and Tuesday you do the national press shows, okay? And these are the screenings in which they pretty much screen everything that's going to open that coming Friday. I mean, obviously not everything, so the scary movies, they're not shown to us because the distributors don't think that we'll do anything to help their box office. But generally, everything is shown on Monday and Tuesday, and you review it, for release on Friday. Well, a week or so ago, it was the last screening on a Tuesday, and I didn't know anything about it except for the time that it was on. It was on at the Century in Soho Square, and it was on at 4 o'clock, and just the title, which was Kings of Summer, which you may have heard of, but I hadn't heard of at the time. And I went into the screening room, and Angie Erigo, who's a very, very long-standing film critic, was there, and I said, do you know the running time of this? And she said, I think it's, less than a couple of hours. I said, do you know anything about it? She said, I think it's French, isn't it? Because actually, funnily enough, there's a European movie, a Belgian movie with a similar title. Anyway, we sat down in this room, really knowing very little about the film, which is a great way to experience a movie, and we all sat there and watched The Kings of Summer.
What could you be showing me in the woods right now?
This is the side of our new house, man.
What, like a tree house?
No, like a real house. No parents, no one telling us what to do. We make the rules.
Hold on, what is this kid doing here?
I'm afraid to tell him to leave. I don't know what he's capable of. Chances of being born.
Do you think that Joe would run away to prove a point?
We don't know that they've run away.
You're right, it's a classic kidnapping. They took our children and the canned goods and pasta.
Take some heart being born and quite so young.
We do swear to never speak of this enterprise to any adult. To be our own men. To boil our own water and kill our own food.
I'm surprised you found a live chicken in these woods.
Yep.
So we got to the end of The Kings of Summer, which you may well know was a bit of a hit at the Sundance Film Festival. But as I said, I hadn't heard of it beforehand, and I absolutely loved it. It was a really wonderful coming-of-age movie, a story of three kids, going off into the woods, building a house to get away from their parents, forming this whole kind of, alternative life. And it's really smart, but also dark and strange. It reminded me to some extent of Stand By Me, which I'm sure is the touchstone to which everyone will refer. But also it had a little bit of the Son of Rambo sense about it for me, and I absolutely love Son of Rambo. I was completely sideswiped by it. I really hadn't expected it. In fact, it reminded me of the time that I went to the cinema to see Breaking Away, the P.T. Yates movie, which I knew nothing about other than that my friend Richard Jeffries had said, you have to go and see this film, it's really great. It looks like it's about cycling, but it's not about cycling. And I came out literally springing down the street. Anyway, outside the screening, there was a bunch of us all looking at each other, all critics going, did you have any idea how good that was going to be? Wasn't it lovely? Wasn't it charming? How come there's not been more of a fuss made about it? Well, the next day, we all got an email from the distributors saying, look, we're going to put back the release date of the film because on the strength of what happened at that screening, we think that we need to hold it back to, to build the release for it a bit more, because actually we've got such confidence in it because it's now been seen by a bunch of people who didn't know anything about it but all absolutely loved it. So it's a lovely example of a bunch of critics who knew very, very little about a film, didn't even know what nationality it came from, all being charmed by a movie, so charmed by it that the distributors said, you know what, we have to hold back this release because actually this film is going to do better than anybody expected. I really hope you get the chance to see Kings of Summer. I really hope you like it as much as I did. It is going into my top 10 of the year. There is no doubt about it.
Joe, what are we gonna tell our parents?
My name is Jamal Colorado, and I have kidnapped your son.
Ann Fernie, Texas. Deshaun, Utah.
Yeah, I decided on the format of Denzel Washington, a black first name followed by a state.
Good effort, although savagely racist.